Number one, if the president asked you to be his vice president, would you accept?
Of course I would. I would serve President Trump in any capacity, but I want to make it clear that is his decision and his decision alone.
What about a cabinet position? What cabinet position? Wasn't VP. He came to you and says, look, I need you in my cabinet. I need your fighter. I need you near me. What cabinet position would you take?
The only cabinet position that I would truly be interested in working in is Homeland. I believe.
You would be Homeland Security Secretary.
I would definitely.
Look, that might strike a lot of people as a scary prospect or even an insane direction to go in. But I want you to all remember that in addition to serving technically as a congresswoman, who at least for some of those years of being a member of Congress has been allowed in committee hearings, she also has a background as a crazy Facebook mom, and she worked at a gym. So why shouldn't she be in charge of Homeland Security? Why shouldn't the safety and welfare of communities across America be up to the woman who does weird pull-ups? Why wouldn't that be the way that we went? And look, obviously it's crazy, but bear in mind, Trump is already, we know, prizes loyalty above everything else. Sense, experience, sanity. And he's going to prioritize it even more this next time around because he does not want what happened last time, which is sometimes people not obeying his rules or his orders. So is it impossible to conceive of the idea that he would choose her to head up the Department of Homeland Security? And can you imagine how many people at the border would die as a result of that appointment? We're gonna move on to the other options that she laid out, but Brett, what do you make of her potentially as the head of Homeland Security?
It is exactly, I forget what the effect is, like the dumber you are, the smarter you think you are. She thinks she can handle being Department of Homeland Security. Like
Dunning-Kruger?
Dunning-Kruger, yeah. So she can't. She's not good enough. She doesn't know how to do anything. When you ask her questions about what's happening in the world, she has no freaking clue. She just says ISIS, the border, let's kill people. Her as vice president, like the vice president does nothing portion of it. I am all about that. But the heartbeat away from president of the United States, especially when that heart of Donald Trump is caked with just Big Macs and Diet Coke, aspartame residue, I'm not in favor of that whatsoever.
That'll get you. That stuff will get you. Yeah, 100%. She really truly believes that she is better than she is. So she thinks that she's mediocre, and she's not. She's worse. I know people have like joked about like, hey, if Cenk becomes president, he should give you a position. And my thought, and usually what I say is, no, he shouldn't. He should put someone who knows what they're talking about, who's qualified for the position, not me. I'm a guy who talks about politics. You know what she is? A woman who talks about politics. That's it. And doesn't do as good of a job at it. I mean, literally, I don't just mean that that's the only thing she really functionally does because she doesn't actually do any constituent services. We know that her offices literally aren't even open and she doesn't work on legislation, that sort of thing. She literally hosts a podcast. Her greatest aspiration is to do what Brett and I are doing right now. She takes time off of being a member of Congress in the majority to try to do the damage report. And she thinks she should be in charge of Homeland Security. And if I'm getting worked up, it's only because I think there's at least a 5% chance that she's watching this right now. Hello, Congresswoman. But anyway, she also mentioned VP there. And there was a weird misplaced sort of like humility thing where she said, and I just want to say that it's his choice, no one else's. Who else's would it be? But yeah, no, he's the person who chooses his running mate. That's not even how humility works. Now, what do the people think? Well, there was a Newsweek poll of who the vice president should be to Donald Trump. And it's not looking like the people want it to be her. Ramaswamy gets 30%. The runner-up at 16% is don't know. The third is Mike Pence, which I love. I don't know if that's like the percentage of the audience that is still a fan of Mike Pence, or if that's the percentage of Trump's audience that wants him to have a second go at killing Mike Pence. I'm not sure. But yeah, you got to go past DeSantis and Lake and Haley and RFK Jr. Ivanka, doesn't matter to me, beats Marjorie Taylor Greene. I really thought she would be more popular. Brett, what do you think?
That is a list of people whose name do you know and who don't you absolutely hate. So people know Vivek, but don't know him well enough to hate him at a certain point. But Trump has already, according to him and what he said on a Fox News town hall yesterday or 2 days ago, he has already decided who his vice president is going to be. And he has already started to kind of tease that he's not going to tell you until the perfect time. So if something giant happens between now and when he reveals it, maybe that'll affect it. But odds are he's already chosen and he knows who it's going to be.
Yeah, but I know that was like news, but like I've already chosen and I won't tell you until I'm ready is how it always works, isn't it? Like, no. He could be lying, first of all.
Yeah.
I remember when, his infrastructure plan is going to roll out in 2 weeks. Like, he could just be lying. But anyway, it's just such a weird way to go about it. But it could be her. Why not? I mean, none of the names on this list, I think, would be good. So just consider that one added reason to hope that he doesn't become president.
I would just tell people,
anyway,
do you, yeah.
No. Final point.
Before you said the words Mike Pence, had anyone thought that his vice president was going to be Mike Pence for his first term? No.
That's a good point.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.